Alright, this demo here is for the Temescal FC1800. As you can see, it consists of your main tank system here. You got your compressor for your cryo pump. You got your main cabinet here. And then you got your power supply for your E-guns. This is basically your chamber right here. Your viewport right here. You got your planetaries and shutters. I have them out of the system so I can show you how the E-guns work without the shutters getting in the way of each other. And on your control cabinet, we'll start right up top right here. This right here is your vacuum controller. These gauges are analog and they'll come across it when it's at atmosphere, but it's on systems under vacuum right now. Here is your high vac gauge right now. This system is capable of going 5 to the -7, but right now I've been opening and closing the chamber for a while, so it's still pumping down. Down here is your pump controller that will you can manually, right now I have it manually set to open, close all the valves in the system, or you can go ahead and use the auto, and you can go ahead and go to the different settings as I'm pumping down. Venting. Below this is you have your deposition controller, where you can control your guns, your shutters, and it can automatically go to a preset angstrom per second and total thickness using your deposition controller. Below this is your sweep controller that tells you your beam where to go into the pocket, and if you want it, you can have it sweep where it can oscillate into the pocket. Then down below this is you have your high voltage controllers. These control your guns. As you can see, this one high voltage controller isn't on is because this controls, you only have one power supply over here, and this basically controls the high voltage coming out of there, but the high voltage then can be controlled by the gun controller to each guns. Below that you have another sweep controller for your second gun in there. Below this is still another gun interface that basically makes the controllers up here talk to your main power supply. Below that you have right here is you have your speed control for your planetaries. If you just turn this on, you'll see your planetary moving. Next to that is you have your shutter controls. Basically it's an auto, it'll be dim, but when you turn it on, it gets to a bright light or off. Over here is your one gun, has 4 pockets. This is manual. All you got to do is just flip the channel and it will go to the next crucible, and when it goes to the next crucible it will light up. I only have aluminum on one crucible, so we're gonna have to stick with A. Alright, this system's been upgraded with the better cryo pump controller. It actually has a digital readout that tells you what your Kelvin is reading in your cryo pump. Below this is your substrate heater. Basically you would just turn this on, and then it's basically gonna turn on some quartz heaters. This right here is your thyristor. This will go up as you want more heat, and as you can see right now it's at 5 amps, and you can see in here that the quartz heaters are going. Below that is your automatic regen controller for your cryos. Now, I'm going to first start off with is, let me come down over here. This is your power supply. Basically, you would just turn this on and hit the reset right here, and then everything gets controlled by your controllers here. What I'm first going to do is we're going to run this manually so I can show you where the beams are in the pocket. So what I'm first going to do is turn on this power supply and then turn both of these knobs down, and I'm going to turn this on. As you can see, it turns on both of your gun controls. So we're going to try to look in here. And that is where if you see that beam down there, I'm going to increase and then you can see your beam right there. I will turn on the sweep controller. And you'll see it kind of like spinning around. And I'll turn it back off so where it's stable. And for you to get a better idea of what's going on is I'm going to turn this on right here. I'm going to increase this knob here. As you can see, your emissions coming up higher, and I'm going to make it so it reads a little higher on your angstroms per second right up here. As you can see, now it's raising up. And I'm going to turn it down right now. You can see it doesn't read anything. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing with this gun over here. I'm going to raise this up. Let's see if I can get you looking at the other gun. As you can see, that's up, and you can see that the filament's up. I'll raise it up a little higher. So you can see the beam there. And I'll do the same thing with that one. I'll raise it up so you can see. Raise that up. As you can see, it's going up now. So as you can see, it's running. I'm going to show you another way we can do this too, is we're going to run it through here. And let me get it all set up for that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so to get this into remote setup, we're going to go ahead and put this into remote. You're going to see the remote LED lit up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit stop, reset. We're going to get it all ready to run, and then we're just going to hit start, and it's going to run through its process. The manual explains to you how the process is and how to set it up. Right now it's basically at 5-6% on the rise. And you can see there's a timer down here that is going through the certain steps. So right now we got 4 more seconds, and then it's going to go to rise number 2. Soak, and then it's going to go to a whole rise and soak number 2 after this. That was just to get it up to the 25%. That's a good way to get your crucible warmed up, or your material in your crucible warmed up. Alright, usually you'd have your a shutter on here. So right now it just opened the shutter down here, and now it's depositing. And you can see it's controlling. You're going to see this power go up and down to try to maintain that 5 angstroms a second. The material we have in the pocket isn't the cleanest, so you're going to have a little bouncing around. If we had a little bit cleaner stuff, you wouldn't have as much power bouncing around, but you at least get to see it controlling to make sure it's trying to maintain that. And as you can see, it's trying to maintain the 5 angstroms a second. And had I had cleaner material in there, you would see it working a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do, we're just going to stop this right now. We're going to go ahead and get the isolation valve off. Turn the other high vac gauge off, and then we're going to vent so I can show you the inside of the system. And then you can see now this is your chamber pressure right here, and you can see that one up. The one other is your cryo pump, which should be always down. When it vents, I'll come back. All right, as you can hear the system venting through the seal here. So I'm going to just pick it up, and this is the inside of your chamber. As you can see, you got the big gun here, and then you got a smaller source over here. They both have aluminum in it. The shutters, I can put in now. And I will open your shutters. There's your one shutter and your other shutter. Your planetaries go on just like this. I can't show you how they rotate, but you can see the top there still spinning around. That will catch right on here and spin this around. And this demonstration is to show you how the system works and that it is up and running. I can do more videos by request if you need something specific, but this for right now is just to let you know that it is running.